President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, or AMLO of Mexico, was criticized at the beginning of the year for claiming he had a photo of what English-speaking media deemed an elf, although the exact term used is Aluxe. This distinction becomes more important when looking at the concept of mysticism in Mexico and what the Aluxe sighting might really be hiding. Elves are European in their origin, particularly Northern European. In Mexico, there are two main mystical elfish-like creatures in folklore: duendes, also called chaneques, which roughly translates to goblins, that are told to inhabit more of northern and central Mexico, and aluxes, which do not have a great English translation, and also are more seen in the Yucatan and former Maya areas of southern Mexico. For AMLO, who comes from the Yucatan-adjacent province of Tabasco, the aluxe is what he claims to have seen. To give more of a background on what an aluxe actually is, it can be described as both a mischievous and a giving woodland spirit, coming from Mayan culture and folklore. Many Mayan people build small homes for the aluxe and offer gifts for their goodwill and help with harvests. Now, we can nearly say that this isn't an aluxe. Many have found the photo to have been posted in Thailand, Indonesia, and even England, claiming to be a local folklore creature in every country. The photo itself is incredibly low-res and could be easily explained away by being a combination of leaf formations and shadows. But it's less important that AMLO believes in this aluxe photo, or pretends to. Belief in mystic creatures like the aluxe or duende is common across much of Mexico, especially among older or more rural citizens. But what's more important about this story is who AMLO claims took the photo: an engineer working on his controversial pet project, the Mayan train. The Mayan train is coming to an area of Mexico with a very distinct culture from the rest. The entire region is often seen as underdeveloped and also underfunded. With the popularity and rise of Cancun and Mayan tourism, more demand has been put on the Yucatan infrastructure, which AMLO sees as a major problem that the Mayan train can solve. Many locals, however, see it as causing more problems than solving. Since before work even began in 2020, over 25 legal complaints have been filed. Many see the construction as rushed and without concern for the environmental and cultural damage it will cause. There is often concern that the train will lead to over-tourism in the Mayan region, like what has been seen in places like Cancun, where local culture has eroded in favor of resort cities, and locals must ration water to save it for tourists. This year, the Mayan train faced its biggest challenge, with the court deciding that AMLO couldn't continue with the funding of his train under the guise of national security, for more funding, and for relaxing regulations. Still, AMLO continued on, in defiance of the court's decision. AMLO once said that not a single tree will be cut for the Mayan train, a massive understatement of the estimated 3.4 million that have been cut down due to the train, according to just official reports, with others estimating 9 million trees have been cut down. This is concerning, as the rainforest in the Yucatan is the second largest in the Americas, right after the Amazon. Now, to be fair, there is support for the Mayan train. Infrastructure is abysmal in the region, making it hard for locals to connect and participate in the global economy. Many see the project as part of a path to finally lift much of the region out of poverty. There was a 2019 public referendum vote that showed a 90% approval rating. Many, though, including international domestic democracy and human rights groups, claimed the referendum was an unfair election, with voter boycotts, a lack of translation of the proposal into local indigenous languages, and the government's very limited and diminished communication on the environmental and cultural costs of the train. What it looks like now, in context of the controversy surrounding the Mayan train, is a cheap way to throw attention off of, and drum up support for, the Mayan train. The supposed photo of a major Mayan cultural figure by an engineer working on the Mayan train was the closest AMLO could get to creating a symbol of support for the project. It is not unheard of for politicians from every corner of the globe to use mysticism to rally support for their causes. This is what AMLO has done here, and is what many of the headlines in the US and Europe failed to capture. So what do you think? Did Aluxe really appear and was photographed by a Mexican engineer? Let me know your answer, and anything else you know about this topic, down in the comments. Until then, this is Chispa de Geopolitics, reminding you to like and subscribe.